Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's coverage of Breck Live. Here right now is the pregame show with Lincoln and I. Today, actually, we have Lily Critchlow and Isabel Grimes, two juniors for the Lady Tigers. Tonight's pregame show is brought to you by Breck Live sponsors TNT Water Sports Kentucky and Sierra Pacific Mortgage. Make sure to contact Tina Gonzalez for all your mortgage needs. All right, girls. So, great game last night. Very hard-fought victory. Early on, you guys kind of struggled shooting the ball, but it finally started to come around the third quarter, fourth quarter. So, did you work on anything in practice this morning to get ready for the South Warren game, since we know that they're kind of a big shooting team?
Well, we've discussed how we're going to play defense and how we're going to close out on their shooters because we know that they can shoot. And we also have just told our shooting guards just to keep shooting. You know, it's going to fall eventually. You just got to keep shooting.
Yeah, and we heard similar advice from Aaliyah yesterday. So, obviously, we had that big game on senior night yesterday, and we know, or we at least saw a bit of, orchestrating the excitement yesterday from particularly you guys, setting up the locker room and things. So, what role do you think senior night played in that game? Like the energy as far as, nerves went in the first quarter and early on in the game, and how do you think that affected the rest of the game?
I think we were definitely nervous in the first quarter, but I think once we got in our groove, we really started, everything went in the goal, and we started working together as a team and played our game.
Yeah, I agree. We all knew we were probably going to start off a little shaky just because it's Apollo. They're ranked number 1 in the region. We're ranked number 2. We want that title. So we knew we were going to come in. We were going to be a little nervous. But after the first half, we really just got all those nerves out, and that's when we finally started hitting shots down and stuff.
Yeah, and I think that was one of the big things Aaliyah talked about was you guys were just going to keep shooting, keep being confident, and you guys really kept that up, and the energy just really got there in that third and fourth quarter with the shooting percentage going up. So we had some similar questions yesterday from listeners on Twitter, and so I'm going to go and ask a couple of those before we get to some of the ones from today. So first of all, this one's kind of personal to the seniors. Like, what have been some of your favorite experiences with them? What are you going to miss about them not being here next year?
Oh my gosh. I've been playing with Cassidy for 8 years. We played together at St. Romuald, so it's definitely bittersweet. Like, I'm going to miss her so much. And, like, my freshman year, I played with Kayla Young, so she really pushed me. And after she left, Aaliyah really helped me become the post player that I am today.
That's pretty awesome. What about you, Isabel?
Well, me and Aaliyah started playing varsity at a very young age, so we just have those memories, just remembering sitting on the end of the bench while we were in 8th grade, 7th grade, just being so nervous to go in for our first varsity game. And so that's a feeling and a memory I'll never forget. And then the past 2 years, we've just played with Cassidy, and gosh, I just look up to her and the way she shoots. Like, I hope one day I can shoot that well, and it's just really good to have her on the team. She's such a nice person.
I think that is absolutely awesome for all of you guys. Now, this was also a pretty similar question to that, and it was one we asked them yesterday. So what were some of your favorite basketball moments, or I guess you still have, another year of high school basketball to play, but what have been some of your favorite moments in high school basketball that you've just really enjoyed, really remember personally?
Mine personally is just the feeling of whenever you win a certain title, whenever you win districts, and just running on the floor, hugging each other, and just going to the locker room screaming, shouting. Or just Kayla Young got her 1,000-point. I remember in the Cloverport locker room, we were all just screaming and shouting. We had posters. And just the little memories like that just mean so much because you just remember how excited you all were.
Yeah, definitely that is really memorable. And I think what Cassie said yesterday, all the kids coming to practice, that is just so much fun, especially their little dog Joe running around everywhere. I think the little things, like getting together at Chad's house before our first game, eating together, playing games, that's really fun.
Yeah, I think that awesome personal stuff is one of those big benefits of, kind of growing up in a small town, getting to, meet all these people, get to know them personally, whereas you don't really get that vibe in a big city. So another question we had asked yesterday to the seniors, do you guys have any pregame rituals that you go through to make sure you are prepped and ready for what you need to do?
I don't think I have any, rituals I do, in a certain order. I just get my head in the game. I stretch really good, make sure I don't fall down or break anything, which I'm known to do. So I really just stretch and get my head ready for what I have to do that game.
All right, that makes sense. What about you, Isabel?
It depends. On away games, we like to all make sure we're taking a nice nap on the way up there. We bring blankets, we bring pillows, whatever it needs just to get that good nap in. But for home games, we like to be in the locker room and, listen to music, get hyped, and just get excited and getting our mindset right.
That certainly makes a lot of sense. Now, obviously having 2 seniors on the team and, losing Natalie last year, things like that, have you guys had to particularly step into any leadership roles? I know you guys play, big parts on the offense and defense sides of the court, but what do you have to do, off the court or, often on as far as leadership is concerned?
I always try to be really positive and get us really hyped up. I'm always giving people high fives, telling them they did really good. So I think that's just my role, just making sure everybody's feeling good and being confident.
It's a very good one. What about you, Isabel?
Yeah, I agree with Lily. She is great when it comes to keeping people's spirits up. Sometimes in practice, maybe we won't get along all the time, but that doesn't bother our team. The next practice will be just fine. So it's really good that we can be really competitive with each other, but the next day, it's like nothing ever happened, and we're still best friends. That's how a team should be, and that's how it is. So I'm really blessed to be a part of a team like that.
I think that mentality is absolutely phenomenal for things. So one big thing I have to ask here is, and we talked about this a little bit yesterday, coming into today, how do you prepare for games on back-to-back days, particularly with a big game yesterday, really high-energy game? How have you prepared to be ready to come in here today and still get the job done against South Warren immediately following a big win yesterday?
Well, last night I took an ice bath, took an Epsom salt bath. You just got to keep your muscles healthy because I have a tendency to get really sore the next day. Make sure to just get plenty of rest and that we eat a lot of good meals and drink lots of water. That's the main thing.
All right.
Yeah, definitely stretching and getting a good night's sleep is what I have to do because I'm pretty sore after pushing on big girls and getting hit around down in the box.
Understandable, really. So we do have a question here from Twitter from Chris. So this is more of a specifically geared question, but how long did it take, and this is, I guess, a numerical value, how long did it take to get ready and prepared for South Warren?
Well, I guess all week because, we prepared for Apollo all week, but we knew we had this hard game, South Warren, coming up next, so we couldn't just overlook them because we knew it was the day after. So we've really just, while we were preparing for Apollo, we've just added in little things about South Warren that we need to focus on and keep our minds in. But we knew we had to beat Apollo before we could really, really focus on beating South Warren.
Makes a lot of sense. What about you, Lily? Anything to add?
That sounds pretty good, Isabel.
All right, Cam, you got anything?
All right. I already asked them this yesterday, the controversial Homer's Radio question. I want to know your thoughts, especially after last night, after the win. And what's it like if people kind of look at you guys like, oh, you're just 4th ranked? Well, you just beat Apollo, so.
Well, we were definitely pretty excited to beat Apollo. We had heavy ranked number 1 in our region written on our board. And as soon as we went in that locker room, we erased that pretty quickly. So I think it really opened a lot of people's eyes and made everybody look at us differently.
All right, well, that's exactly what we want to hear. I thought I jinxed it a little bit after I got Aaliyah a little hyped up here, so it scared me a little bit, I'm not going to lie. Well, thank you guys for joining us today. Good luck for the game. Hope to see some shots going down for you guys. And so as for me and Lincoln, we will continue this little pregame show right back after a couple commercial breaks. So thank you guys.
Thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
once again, everybody, and welcome to today's coverage of Breck Live, sponsored by TNT Water Sports Kentucky and Sierra Pacific Mortgage. So, speaking of water sports, I know it's winter right now, but you got any water sports that you look forward to over the summer?
Now, I am not one for necessarily sport on the water. Living right near Rough River, you can get in a lot of fishing. You can go tubing on the boat. That's a pretty good time typically. I have wakeboarded maybe one time in my lifetime. It was a fun experience though, so maybe check out our sponsor TNT Water Sports. Just thought I should throw that one out there. But yeah, that's kind of the main stuff I get into. I really like tubing, so that's cool, I guess. What about you, Cam?
I'm not gonna lie, not much here. I've been kayaking, but that's about it.
Yeah, kayaking fun.
Right. Anyway, I guess moving along from that little something I had to throw out there.
Yeah.
So we're going to be doing this new segment, I guess you could say, for each pregame show that we do, and we'll probably be having a pregame show pretty much every single time now. It's going to be random trivia. If you follow us on Twitter, you have already seen that post probably about it. But so the rules are: if you answer correctly
in the chat
on the stream, if you're the first person to answer correctly, you will get a live shout out from either me or Lincoln.
Or both. Heck, we might just scream it out during halftime.
Just yell it out, okay? Maybe during a free throw, who knows?
Yeah.
When it's complete quiet. We might shout your name out as loud as we can. But we will do that at halftime. So make sure you're keeping up with it. We'll try to keep the question surfacing if nobody's answered just yet.
And one of the things, it's going to be, I want to say, heavily oriented towards just random Breckenridge County trivia. Probably towards the basketball program, but maybe we'll just change it to miscellaneous category. You never know what really could happen. So, you said we will be asking that question at halftime, correct? Or
no,
we
asking
now, answer
right now,
answer
yes.
at halftime.
No,
okay,
this is new for us. We just thought of this literally 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, this is just awesome stuff here.
All right, so make sure you listen and write this down if you have to. All right, we're gonna go a little bit easier on you for the first time. So, who is the Lady Tigers' all-time leading scorer?
Played for 7 years in high school, or on the varsity team, had 2,597 points. Who is the Lady Tigers' all-time leading scorer? Answer correctly in the comments. If you are the first one, we will shout you out on the stream. So, now that you have that to look forward to,
please make sure the account you're using on YouTube is name appropriate.
Yeah, that would
we don't want to shout something out that's that we can't.
Yeah, that would be.
Just thought I'd throw that out there.
That'd be less than ideal. But I guess now we can kind of just talk about the task at hand. So currently, we're watching the JV game, and Lady Tigers here up 7 with just over 2 minutes remaining here in the JV game, and they fought back from a minor deficit. It was actually pretty similar scenes of the Apollo varsity game yesterday. But so a few things to look for here. First of all, we are playing South Warren. We had some inclement weather yesterday, so the roads were a little bit icy, but everybody got here safe as far as I'm aware. So we have South Warren, we have the Lady Tigers. Lady Tigers, of course, just coming off of that big win on senior night against Apollo High School yesterday. My apologies. And so we're looking at the South Warren side here. Going into the game, they are 2-1 on the season. They beat Owensboro, who was ranked, 220th in RPI last season. By the way, South Warren was 112th last season. They beat Owensboro by 15 on January 5th. Then they lost to E-Town 18-57. That one was a bit of a lopsided one for sure. E-Town was ranked 6th in RPI last season, so obviously pretty good contender for the state tournament, if that was not already noticeable. But against E-Town, they went 5 for 37 from the field, 1 for 17 from 3. So obviously, not exactly the greatest performance ever from South Warren. However, we also have some good information that E-Town only beat Mercy by 11, and we beat Mercy by 5. So, maybe that's an indicator that, we might be able to pull this one out pretty easily. That's the hope, at least. Anyways, other than that E-Town game and the Owensboro game, South Warren has also played Hopkins County Central, who was ranked 172nd last season in RPI. and they won that game 61-49. So really not sure what to anticipate from South Warren here, although we have heard some insider information that they are quite the shooting squad. They do only have one senior, I believe, Deaton, so we are going to see how that plays. And there is one big thing here for South Warren. Their last game was January 11th. Kind of interesting, actually, that they had 2 other games scheduled this week, the 12th and the 15th, that were both canceled against Warren Central and Greenwood. But today's game, they will be playing against Breckinridge County, obviously. That starts at 4:30. Obviously dependent on the amount of warm-up time, how long it takes to end this JV game. But that is the current setup for things. Now, we watched the Lady Tigers play yesterday against Apollo on senior night. Big performances. Let me pull up some quick stats from that game really quickly. So, yes.
I believe I already have them right now. I'll just go ahead and toss them out. I got them out here. So, senior night, as mentioned. So, it is only really important that Aaliyah Mucker, the senior, led the scoring last night with 20 points. She was followed by Isabel Grimes, a junior, with 17, and the other senior, Cassidy McDaniel, with 11. The team struggled early on with free throws, but were able to start getting them to knock down late in the game when it really mattered to the fourth quarter and overtime. I believe you said they were, 7 for 8 in overtime?
Yeah, I believe 7 for 8 in overtime, which was huge.
Yeah, so the team ended up being around 59% overall for free throws. Now, I'd say first, second, and third quarter, if I had to predict, it'd probably be about 30% free throw percentage. Because
there were big struggles from the free throw line.
And there was not a lot of fouls called throughout the entire game, really, until the end, whenever it was just obvious calls. I mean, there were some obvious calls, like the one where Sydney and I'm not sure who it was, for the Apollo E-Gals on the sideline, but that one definitely got the fans riled up here.
Oh, yeah, that was for sure.
And it was definitely something interesting that there was a no call. But anyway, the team was 37% from the field and 33% behind the perimeter. They struggled a little bit early on, but were finally able to get some nice buckets, especially from Aaliyah Mucker, who started draining them pretty much throughout the game. She was probably our most consistent shooter. So we're not sure. And we talked to them early on about nerves and how they said that they were a little bit nervous first quarter, first beginning of the game, but they were finally able to start settling down a bit. And we saw that happen last night. And if you did not watch that game, make sure to watch it after this. And it's right on our Breck Live YouTube channel.
Or honestly, if you are particularly bored and you don't want to listen to me and Cameron, you can pull up that stream and watch it while me and Cameron are doing the pregame, because that would be awesome. That would be really cool. Anyways, yes, that game was insanely fun to watch. It had me on the edge of my seat for sure. There was one point we were down, I think 3, and then Isabel Grimes missed a free throw. Aaliyah got the offensive rebound, drained a 3, hit a 3 on the next possession, and then Cassidy hit a 3 on that next possession to really put us up. But so a few of the things we need to look at statistically in that game. First of all, Breckinridge County on the season averaging 46% from the field, which is, a pretty high number in comparison to most of the other teams we've seen so far, and 37% from 3, which is frankly a very nice number in terms of what we've seen from other teams in women's basketball right now. Now, the weird sort of anomaly here is Breckinridge County sitting at 53% free throw shooting percentage, which is a little absurd to me, honestly, given how consistent their shooters are from the perimeter. Just that number just being really low, and we saw them struggle immensely the first, second, third quarters free throw shooting. Like, there were some opportunities. They were down, a couple possessions, but they'd already missed 6 or 7 free throws. Just, big misses that nearly cost them that game and wouldn't have even forced it into overtime. Would have just been a win altogether for them.
Yeah, and while you're talking about that, I just wanted to throw it out there that the JV game is now over, and the Lady Tigers won 46-37 on South Warren. So both teams are now going to be starting to warm up. So that's always a good sight to see, seeing the JV team get a nice dub before varsity starts. Something that gets the energy going a little bit.
Yeah, that is always a great thing to see. And so first of all, a couple things. We talked about free throw shooting percentage. We talked about struggles on free throws. And one of the things we saw, and again, you said that there weren't many fouls called, and there were definitely some, questionable no calls and questionable fouls called that, definitely couldn't have been fouls, or could have not been fouls. I should phrase it that way. But that was again one of the things we saw. And I think that was one of the byproducts here as we were firing up the camera. I think that was one of the byproducts of Apollo only having 6 players. It was very strange to see a roster that was so thin, and it really slowed down the tempo of the game. So that was, I think, the biggest factor that we saw was Apollo held the tempo for the vast majority of the game. They kept it in the half court. When Brett County threw the 2-2-1 press at them, they were able to kind of settle back in the backcourt. They were able to pass it around, find the ball in the middle, and they were able to break the press fairly confidently. I mean, I'd say the Lady Tigers forced probably maybe 5, 6, 7 turnovers as the game progressed. But overall, I think the press was broken enough in that game that they were able to. And we weren't really expecting. We were expecting Apollo to not have as much athleticism, but they, having, I believe, 4 seniors, 2 juniors on their lineup, they were able to just move it around enough, make enough shots to definitely make the Lady Tigers uncomfortable. Which, this South Warren side, not with near as much experience, but with a bigger roster, so we'll see how that ends up balancing out. But again, we talked about tempo, so I think it's going to come down to ultimately who can control the tempo better, who can knock down some shots, who can be, comfortable and force the other team to be uncomfortable. So looking at South Warren's schedule again, we saw they've scored 55, 18, and 61 points, which is, they're not huge numbers. The Lady Tigers averaging, going into yesterday's game about 70-something. I think 72. But going into today's game, that average is going to be down a bit due to the score against Apollo. But that was a good game. They did pull that one out in the end, even with a lot of shooting difficulties. They shot only 31% in the first quarter, 13% from 3. Second quarter shot 33% from the field and 25% from 3. But in the third quarter, if I am not mistaken, their shooting percentage was 55% and their three-point shooting percentage was 50%. So that was pretty integral to them really coming back into that game. And then again, we already talked about it in overtime. The Lady Tigers went 7 for 8 in overtime to really put away the game, which I think was very important to their overall success. So I believe we have some new information here coming in about the South Warren lineup. They're a very young group. We still don't have any roster information.
I got some right here, actually.
Fantastic.
Obviously, I don't know what the numbers are, but
we can't see numbers in
but
but
now I liked looking at both teams' size comparison. I would almost say Breckinridge County has a little bit more height and just size on South Warren in general. Obviously, that doesn't really mean anything, as Breckinridge County was undersized compared to Mercy, and they were able to pull off the win. But so probably going to be a just prediction, maybe faster pace game. We know that there are a bunch of shooters on the team, like for instance, Mila Munroth. She has 13 points, but she's averaging 57% from the field. And then we also have the leading scorer for the team, Gracie Hodges. Be on the lookout for number 10. She's a sophomore. She is 55% from the field, 44% from the three-point line, 75% from the free throw. They're a very high free throw percentage team, which is something that Breck is working on.
Yeah, that for sure a work in progress.
The first game, it was we did that really well, and then kind of Grayson, it started going downhill.
Yeah.
And then North Bullitt, we bumped it back up last game.
Yeah.
It started going down until the end, but maybe since it started getting better towards the end of the game, we'll start off a lot better now, because I'll say it multiple times, free throws can definitely change the outcome of games.
Yeah, and the Lady Tigers in overtime there against Apollo only made 1 field goal, but again, 90% from the free throw line. Definitely something you want to see near the end of the game when clutch time matters, because I'm not even sure at that point in the season, other than maybe Cassidy shooting, we had even seen 2 consecutive free throws made. Again, I'm not sure against North Bullitt because we didn't have footage for that, but it seemed like in those first couple games, it was just like they had some struggles just with confidence on free throw shooting, and it's really weird because they're so willing to step out and shoot the 3 ball and make it fairly consistently, and shooters like Cassidy, Aaliyah, Isabel, all willing to just step out there and fire one in from deep. And, I mean, they've drained a pretty high number of them, again, shooting 37% from 3 on the season, which is a great number for three-pointers. But it's one of the interesting things we've seen there. So also 46% from the field. And it's just like, I still can't entirely understand the lower free throw percentage. But I think, again, with what Cameron said about South Warren being a higher free throw shooting percentage team, I think what the Lady Tigers are going to have to do is prevent them from shooting as many free throws as possible, prevent them from taking as many shots as possible. That was what we saw E-Town do against them. Obviously, shooting, I'm trying to think what the number even would have been. I think like 6% from 3 in that game against E-Town. I don't know what threes they were taking, but presumably not good ones to be shooting, 1 for 17. But I think one of the biggest things the Lady Tigers are going to have to do, and we saw this in their first couple games, certainly, was the efficient use of the 2-2-1 press. I expect we're going to see that here. I've been told, which frankly, after getting information yesterday, I was a little bit surprised by the outcome, but I've been told that South Warren may not be able to keep up with our athleticism, which I think is the Lady Tigers' biggest strength. They don't have a ton of size, but outmatching any team in size is pretty nice for the Lady Tigers considering the athleticism that they already have. But if we can, I think, run a defensive press better. I'm sure South Warren's reviewed footage. I'm sure they're ready and prepared to try and break a press that they know is coming, because that 2-2-1's just been a consistent strategy for the Lady Tigers. But I think if the Lady Tigers can rotate better on defense, they can really shut down South Warren's offensive potential to break the press.
Yeah, last night we held Apollo 20-44 from the field in total, 6 for 20 from the 3. So obviously we have pretty good perimeter defense, and we just really need to focus on, like you said, the inside, just holding them back from the shot, because it does not seem like they're necessarily a big driving team based purely off stats right here.
Yeah, if they're not shooting a ton of free throws, but they're hitting a ton, we really just, I think if you keep them out of the lane, I think we've proved enough that, hands and feet are moving fast enough on defense, even packed into a 2-3 zone, that they can cover the perimeter. But I think one of the things that we are going to have to see, and this is obviously an offensive thing, not as much attributed to South Warren, but it's what we saw against Apollo. Apollo was set back into that 2-3, and the Lady Tigers would, drive and kick, but then they weren't taking good shots. The problem, I think, with the kick was that they wouldn't look to the opposite side for the skip pass. They wouldn't look for the open person on the baseline, and that's where you're going to draw fouls. That's where you're going to get easy layups, things like that, and they just had some struggles. Obviously, again, they went 1 for 8 in the first quarter from 3, which is somewhat unorthodox for them, but for them to shoot poorly from 3 and still manage to win that game, especially, I think it really showed, again, those jitters going into the game, a little bit of those nerves, given Homer's radio report on them and their ranking. And I think they took that to heart and really went into that game with a lot of energy, and they were able to come out of it with a lot of energy. And I don't know if Apollo could have continued keeping up if the game, say, went into double overtime, but I think, and again, we saw a questionable move by Apollo down, trying to think, they might have been down 5 with like 30 seconds left. And Brett County, I believe, got a rebound off a missed free throw, and Apollo just didn't foul. Like, it was weird. And then they were like, you know what? There's 5 seconds left. We'll foul. This game's over. And I was kind of like, why would you do that? You're not coming back if you let the clock run 20 seconds trying to get a steal and then foul. But yeah, that was certainly weird. But I think, again, we focused on this, if the Lady Tigers, I think, can slash and look for open shots, they will get really consistent, especially like Cassidy in the corner. That is her spot. If they can really look over there, see that she's open, then I think things will work out well for them, even with missed shots. I think the confidence level, and the thing about the Lady Tigers is they have some versatility in their scoring. They can score in the paint, they can score on the perimeter. Obviously, free throw shooting a bit of a struggle, but they can do those things. And I think most of their paint scoring doesn't come so much from post work, but from slashing. And if you force people to collapse, that's when you can dish out. It's when you can shoot threes. And again, having to do with versatility, you can see scoring from, all sides of the lineup. I'm assuming we are going to see the same starting lineup with Lily Critchlow, Sydney Tucker, Isabel Grimes, Aaliyah Mucker, and Cassidy McDaniel out there. So, again, we've seen, Cassidy can shoot the 3. Cassidy can shoot, deep 2s. She can rebound a bit. Aaliyah, prevalent slasher. She can shoot the ball very well, as we saw yesterday. Isabel just does great work around the entire court, particularly with passing, shooting, anything to do with slashing. We've seen Sydney Tucker and Skylar Tucker both play phenomenal defense. Both of them can still shoot the 3 ball as well. And then Lily Critchlow, we've seen some great work in the paint, hustling hard to get rebounds and really throw people's rhythm off in the paint. I think she did that well against Floyd yesterday, considering Floyd may have been, a bit more athletic, but I think they did a good enough job in the 2-3 zone that they were able to keep him out of the paint. And if they can keep up that sort of effort today, I think they can do very well against South Warren, particularly if they prevent a lot of open perimeter shots and if they don't foul much. think rebounding is going to be a big aspect. But I don't think the Lady Tigers will struggle with that. I think in terms of their athleticism, I think they have South Warren matched, if not beaten by a favorable margin. Just watching the two teams warm up here, but I look forward to the results. So, Cam, you got anything to add?
Let me think here. I had something, but I'm kind of watching both of the teams warm up and seeing the shots that they're taking, and it's just going to be a completely different scenario or environment for Breckinridge County, as last night Apollo only had 6 players, and South Warren has out here probably
See, it looks like about 10 to 12 maybe.
12 players out there right now.
Yeah.
And that could be maybe some other JV players could be coming out. I don't know. So that's going to be completely different. And most of them do play. That's the thing. Most of them do play.
Yeah.
And whether it's just coming in for a little bit, but that gives the starters and the I don't want to say better players, but it gives the starters and the players that play a little bit more time to rest and kind of recuperate, which
a bit of a fallback.
I believe that's what hurt Apollo last night.
Yeah, for
is
sure.
They by the time it got to overtime, they were probably a bit worn out. I mean, you've been playing for what? I don't know.
I guess you've been playing for 30, 40 minutes straight at that point.
Yeah, you're going to get tired, and that's good to have a decent-sized roster. Breckinridge County is fortunate enough to have enough players to do that this season, but that's definitely going to be something a little different that they're going to have to have a little different strategy for, because last night all they had to do was just wear them out, and Apollo showed great fight. They didn't seem to be wearing out much at all until the very end.
Yeah, and I think one of the biggest factors that contributes to that is, again, like I talked about, the Lady Tigers' athleticism. I think they play a great physical game, and obviously, the officiating may have hurt us a little bit. There were obviously some situations where it helped us, but we heard cries around the stadium of anger about the officiating yesterday. There was definitely some questionable calls.
It was a little bit lax.
Yeah,
I guess you could say they just. I don't know if they wanted it to go over faster, or they just didn't feel like calling, maybe make things a little bit more exciting. I don't know.
Yeah, and
but
I think
a couple of Apollo players seem to have gone down for a little bit. But Breckinridge County gladly didn't seem to have any issues. But it was definitely a pretty physical match.
Yeah, there was a lot of contact in that game, and I think that was, again, one of the biggest things that we did see, again, with the officiating was, uncalled fouls. And I think maybe part of the reason they were doing that is because Apollo only had 6 players. They were like, oh no, if I foul out 2 of their players, they don't have a full lineup, and that would have been less than ideal. But yes, that is one of the biggest things we are going to see. And you talked about atmosphere, and it seems like the Lady Tigers, again, presumably because it isn't senior night, aren't going to have as many fans today, but South Warren has packed the stadium up pretty well for being a nice hour-and-a-half drive here from Bowling Green. And I think it's going to be an exciting one. Hopefully there isn't as much outrage, from either side. I like to see a nice, fair game, not as much argumentativeness. Like to see everybody, a little bit happy. Obviously, you're going to be disappointed in a negative result, but, that's how the game is. That's how any sort of competitive thing is. I would just like to see a nice, fair fight between both sides here. Don't want to see anybody getting hurt. Don't want to see anybody, getting too angry. I just want to see a great display overall. So that's one of the things I think we can look forward to. And I think it is going to be interesting. So looking at the score lines from South Warren's games so far, they have scored, let's see, the first game, 95 points total. The second game, that'd be 75. And the third game would be 110. So, I mean, not allowing a ton of points, not scoring a ton of points. But the Lady Tigers, hold on, I can maybe pull up those here in a second. But the scoring lines, I think, were heavily different. So, yeah, for the Lady Tigers so far against Mercy, there were a total of, 119 points. Against Grayson, 125. North Bullitt, there would have been 110. That was even with North Bullitt only scoring 35. And Apollo, grand total of 116. So, I mean, definitely higher score lines. So I'm kind of wondering how that's going to end up playing out here. It's making me wonder, and again, we saw Apollo tried to really control the tempo. I'm wondering if South Warren's going to have a similar tactic, but it seems like they have a deep enough lineup that they could definitely throw a press at the Lady Tigers, but, I think the Lady Tigers can break a press pretty comfortably. We haven't seen a ton of heavily advanced presses yet this season, which is something the Lady Tigers have done well is press. But I think I would like to see what a press would do against the Lady Tigers. I would like to see them maybe get some open layups, things like that. But again, South Warren having a bigger lineup than what we have seen in previous games. So maybe have some depth. Maybe they can throw several lineups out there and really prepare themselves for victory. And so as far as tempo is concerned, I would say with the lower score lines that we've seen from them so far this season, they could play a zone. I'm going to guess they aren't going to press. That could be totally wrong. I don't think we're going to see a press, though. If we do, then I guess that just makes me look like a fool. But I'm trying to think. Hold on. Let me review some quick fun statistics from the other teams in those games. So let's see. E-Town, when they played against them, E-Town went 4 for 19 from 3. So it's like, E-Town didn't shoot great. They took a lot of threes, so that's making me think maybe they're going to play a zone. I don't know. I think zone is definitely the biggest defense that we've seen played, whether it be 2-3, 1-2-2, 3-2, all those things are.
It's kind of the staple almost for high school basketball, it feels like.
Yeah, and I think part of that just has to do with shooting percentages being lower in high school, particularly from the perimeter. And I think that's one of the biggest advantages the Lady Tigers have is having a higher three-point percentage. Around 40%. I don't know how many times I can reiterate this. That is a great number for high school levels. Like, in the games we've seen, let's see. So E-Town, who beat South Warren by 40, 57-18, only shot 21% from 3. We saw, let's see, it was Edmondson, 1 for 16 from 3 against Grayson. Mercy, 4 for 24 from 3 against Breck County. All these numbers, it's just like, they're just shooting so much better than other teams have. And even with that just abysmal shooting performance in the first half yesterday, they went, they went 3 for 6 in the second quarter. They went 1 for 8 in the first. So grand total 4 for 14. So that's like, just over 30%. I'm not 100% sure on that number. But that first half shooting performance, they came back from it. They recovered. They were able to get some momentum shift in the third and fourth quarters, and, they really pulled out that game, and they won. And I think here shortly we are going to be going to a commercial before we see the starting lineups as both teams are getting ready here. Cam, you got anything to add?
I believe that's covered. Just watching them doing some warm-ups, it seemed like they're struggling a little bit when it comes to shooting from the elbow and now from the perimeter. I'm talking about South Warren, of course. Breckinridge County seems pretty strong for the most part. But don't know if that's going to go over right into the game. That's never a guarantee, Never really base it off warm-ups. I mean, just mainly the energy. If it looks like they have a lack of energy, then you can kind of base it. But I guess we'll see soon how that's going to turn out. So, but for right now, we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and we're going to bring you right back here to Tiger Arena with the starting lineups. everybody, and welcome back. We are just underway here, about a little over 4 minutes to go until we inbound the ball instead of tip-off. And if you haven't been with us already for the pregame show, we're going to be having pregame shows about an hour before each game, and we'll just be talking about statistics and whatever, interviewing players, anything like that. So make sure you tune into that a little bit beforehand if you'd like to. But other than that, just in case you haven't been watching, Breck's going to be coming into this game against South Warren Spartans 4-0. They defeated the Lady Eagles of Apollo last night, 61-55 in overtime. Hard-fought victory for the Lady Tigers as they were down for most of the game until the fourth quarter. So be sure to watch that on Breck Live whenever you get a chance. But as for now, the Lady Tigers going against South Warren Spartans, who are 2-1. They have defeated Owensboro and Hopkins County Central, I believe.
Yes.
And they lost in a whopping margin of, I believe it was 57-18 to Elizabethtown. And we covered that a little bit, the statistics based off that game during the pregame show. So the Lady Tigers are coming back onto the floor, get last few shots in before starting lineups. So we do know that South Warren is a big shooting team, so we're going to have to see how Breck Ranch County defends them tonight, and how well the press will go against them, as most likely Breck Ranch County is going to be using the press like normal. So we'll see how this goes.
So presumably we are going to see similar tactics from the Lady Tigers defensively that we have seen in previous games, such as the full court 2-2-1 press, as well as the 2-3 zone, a classic from what we've seen. Now, we've seen those have varying impacts depending on the games. So it worked very well, I think, against Mercy, and it worked very well against Grayson. We don't know exactly how well it worked against North Bullitt, but considering North Bullitt did not have a ton of shots and had, a lot of turnovers, that probably did not go very well for them. So I think we've seen one of the biggest factors, and obviously it didn't go great against Apollo. Apollo's ball handling and passing was phenomenal in the backcourt, but I think the biggest factor, again, that we may see coming into this game, and I'm now realizing that I say so many things are the biggest factor in every game because I am just everywhere with my thoughts. But anyways, I think one of the bigger factors that we are going to see, we're going to use the comparative instead of the superlative here. We're going to use one of the bigger factors we're going to see in this game is ball handling, particularly from South Warren, the Spartans, I believe the Lady Spartans.
Yep.
So I think one of the things they're going to have to do is handle the ball well. They're going to have to handle the ball under pressure. They're going to have to pass. They're going to have to be comfortable being pressed. If they're not, things could definitely go downhill for them quickly. We don't have their turnover stats, but the Lady Tigers have been known to force a lot of turnovers in past. Their athleticism and I guess, trying to think of a good comparison here, it's kind of like a swarm in the full court press, especially there. I believe it was near the end of the second quarter where we went full court man. It was, if I had to be honest, a little bit frightening to watch. I could feel the pressure from up here, watching them play that game, watching them, run defensively. So I think that's going to be the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Frankly, I think it will. It just depends how well defensively the Lady Tigers can go, because we know even if they miss shots early on, they can recover. We saw that yesterday, a great act of perseverance there from them yesterday to come back despite being down at half and at the end of the third quarter. I think they were down at the end of the third quarter as well. But they came back, won it in the fourth. Well, didn't win it in the fourth. They sent it to overtime. But, they did make the comeback despite, shooting, frankly, horrendously in the first half. They were able to recover. They were able to get rid of some of those early game jitters and finally settled in there near the end, started knocking down some shots, finally started making some free throws, shot 87.5% in overtime, which was integral to their victory. So we're going to see how that goes today. We are just about to get underway with starting lineups here.
Welcome to Clarence County High School and Tiger Arena as we get set for this game between the South Warren Lady Spartans and the Breckenridge County Lady Tigers. First, the starting lineup for the Lady Spartans of South Warren. At guard, number 10, Gracie Hodges. At guard, number 21, Carson Deaton. At guard, number 30, Lydia Frank. At forward, number 15, Carrie Inlow. And at forward, number 25, Hannah Jackson. Lady Spartans are coached by Lane Embry. And now, for your Lady Tigers of Breckenridge County High School. At guard, number 11, Isabel Brown. At guard, number 12, Cassidy McDaniel. At forward, number 14, Sydney Tucker. At forward, number 22, Aaliyah Miller. And at center, number 50, Lily Critchlow.
All right, so there are your starting lineups today. I'm actually not sure who won the coin toss there at the beginning, so we're going to see who gets the ball. It says the possession arrow is favoring the Spartans right now, and no, it has been flipped to favor the Lady Tigers, so I believe South Warren going to be starting off with possession here.
Yep. Gosh, I love that they're now using the Bulls theme. I'm a sucker for it.
It's pretty awesome, I have to be honest. Love to see it, really. So I believe, again, South Warren's only senior, Carson Deaton, was in the starting lineup here, and it doesn't look like they have a ton of size going into this, so the Lady Tigers coming into it aggressively here. Deep two there, no good. And Lady Tigers get the rebound. Aaliyah's got it. Kicks to Lily, kicks to Isabel. Takes it back up to the top of the key. She drives. Looks for a shot. Can't quite find anybody. Finds Aaliyah, though, at the top. Finds Lily in the middle. Lily goes up. No good. Rebounded by South Warren. They take it quickly the other way, but Sydney Tucker's there. And nice trap at half court coming here. Nicely played by Isabel Grimes. Just got to get the hands up there. South Warren gets it out of the trap. They have it in the paint. Go up. Foul on Lily Critchlow. So 2 free throws here for, I believe, number 21. That is Deaton. So opportunity for the Spartans to go ahead here early. First one's up, and it is good for Deaton. So he's going to put the Lady Spartans ahead 1-0 at the beginning of this competition. Second free throw up here, and just rattles around and goes in. So Isabel Grimes takes it out, and we are going to see a press here. It seems they almost like a 1-3-1 with an interesting movement in the middle. It seems like they're kind of just trying to guard the middleman here. Isabel Grimes fires up the 3. It's good. Excellent shot from the junior there, who we did interview before the game. If you guys missed it in the pregame show, you can watch it after it is uploaded to Breck Live on YouTube. So we see the 2-2-1 press already right out of the gate here.
By Isabel Grimes, yes, it's going to be out.
I think that was out on South Warren.
Yeah, it was, as the official calls. It's Breckenridge County ball now. So Breckenridge County able to get ahead quickly right here.
So they are going to get a baseline inbound right underneath the South Warren basket here. And they're running the offense here.
Alfonso right into Aaliyah. Quick offensive rebound back to Sydney. Cassidy with the 3, too short.
And rebounded by South Warren here. They're going to go away with it.
Another good defense by Isabel Grimes trying to get that steal.
Isabel playing very athletically and aggressively so far out of the gate here. And South Warren just trying to swing it around. Ball falls to Lily Critchlow, and jump ball called there in the paint. Possession arrow favors the Lady Tigers here. So an opportunity here to increase this lead as it is now 3-2, just about a minute and a half in here. Lily Critchlow to inbound, try and break the press. Gets it up to Isabel, kicks back to Lily, swings over to Sydney. She looks up, can't quite find anybody, finds Lily behind her. She dribbles, kicks back up to Isabel. They got it over half court, finds Lily, kicks over to Sydney, kicks to Cassidy in the corner. Cassidy for the 3. It's good. Nice shot from the senior there. We've seen that action from her all year with 3-point shooting, and she has taken them confidently. We heard that from her yesterday in both pregame and postgame interviews as South Warren having no difficulty breaking that press. Ball just hit Sydney Tucker while she was out of bounds. I'm Not exactly sure what happened there that she ended up in that position, but South Warren's ball into the Breckinridge County basket here. So they are going to inbound on the baseline. They're looking, can't quite find anybody. Ball tipped by Isabel Grimes.
They're going to find number 21, 30 in the corner now. Aaliyah Mucker on her. And right pass, nice move, but too strong there. It's going to be picked up by Cassidy McDaniel, who's driving now, finds Aaliyah Mucker.
She drives.
Back to drive, and bad pass. Intended for Isabel Grimes, just not a good look there, as it's still 6-2, Breckinridge County up.
So we are seeing some work in the passing lanes here early by South Warren. Not exactly getting hands on the ball, but they are at least trying to interfere with passes to the perimeter. We've seen several times.
No good.
No good there. Rebounded by Aaliyah. And Sydney's got it. Drives. Can't quite convert it. And trap coming here from Aaliyah and Sydney, and Aaliyah drops back.
Almost a carry there.
Yeah, South Warren just barely trying to get it over half court there. Lily's got it.
And a foul's going to be called.
I believe that's Lily Critchlow's second. So
Skylar Tucker's going to be coming in for Lily Critchlow. As number 4 and number 11, that's going to be Mila Munroth and Gracie Hodges are going to be coming in for the Lady Spartans. And Gracie Hodges is the leading scorer right now. She is not coming in. Apologies, that was number 11, Megan Kitchens.
So defensively, the Lady Tigers in this 2-3 leaves an open 3 for South Warren. They get the offensive rebound. Goes up and finishes that one. It's going to put it at 6-4 on the game here as Lady Tigers trying to break the press once again. Skylar has it. Crosses half court. It's trapped. Finds Isabel on the opposite side. Kicks over to Cassidy in the corner. Cassidy for the 3. No good. And rebounded by South Warren, but a trap coming from the Tucker twins. And Skylar, I believe, got a hand on it, but got through to a South Warren player there. Now crossing half court. Sydney Tucker following. Gets a hand on it. And she's on the floor with it. Nice defense there from Sydney Tucker. Finds Cassidy McDaniel. She's got it to Isabel. Isabel drives. Goes up for the 2. Thought that maybe could have been a foul there. Just off the mark, though. So it looks like South Warren now has it. Trying to move in transition. Nice defense from Isabel Grimes to get to that ball. And Aaliyah just throws it a little too far. And Isabel can't quite save it on the transition play. But really nice defense so far from the Lady Tigers, what we've seen.
Tigers definitely trying to move a little too quickly right now. Trying to get the score even farther ahead as they're up 6-4. 4 minutes to go, halfway through the first quarter, as Kitchens is going to be inbounding the ball.
And so the Lady Tigers definitely coming out of the gate here with a lot of speed and aggression, which is what we really want to see from them, especially on defense, trying to get a lot of steals, and they've already forced a couple of turnovers here. Sydney Tucker now defending. Isabel guarding the ball here. South Warren's got it. They get over half court, trapped by Aaliyah and Sydney. Ball falls on the ground. Aaliyah fighting for it and just wrestles it from 2 South Warren players, but it is going to be a jump ball. South Warren maintains possession. There's going to be a side inbound here just on the perimeter.
And Tykedra Garrett is going to be coming in now.
And it seems like South Warren trying to stack it up here and just make sure they get an opening. And, yeah, they throw it into the backcourt here. So scribbling it around here. I believe that it's going to be Skylar guarding the ball. They drive. Go up, and it is good. I believe that's
nice quick
Deaton.
bucket there.
So score now 6-all.
Early timeout for Breckinridge County.
It's going to be a 30-second there, so maybe just a slight tactical rework, but I think overall the game's gone well. I think they just need to slow down a little bit. The points will go up. Just gotta take confident shots, and they have so far. A 3 from Cassidy McDaniel and Isabel Grimes. So definitely going well for them so far, I think, as all of South Warren's points coming from, let's see, they hit a free throw, and then a 3 in the corner, and then a layup there by Deaton. So we're going to see.
I believe it's just all been 2s. They hit 2 free throws.
2 free throws. Okay, yeah, my apologies. Yeah, I think that is right. My bad.
I think they had 2 drives into the paint.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. They haven't hit a 3 yet. I don't know if they've taken any. I think they've taken 1 3, but it was off the mark.
Okay, as I say, I know of at least 1 attempted 3. I couldn't remember if they'd hit another one, but overall we haven't seen a lot of working from South Warren on the perimeter. It's been more of an interior attack, but Isabel Grimes to inbound here, and they are kind of working in this 1-3-1 press, but the person in the middle is just essentially guarding the middle person. As
Nice
Breck County
little
breaks
step
it well.
there by
Isabel can't
Isabel.
quite finish, though. Could have been a foul, but nothing called there. Sydney Tucker now guarding. Isabel comes in for a trap. Oh, a nice trap there.
It's picked up by Isabel Grimes.
Isabel comes
going up
away
for
with
the
it.
left-hand layup.
Finishes
Good.
nicely with the left there. Isabel now with 5 on the game, so the Lady Tigers up 8-6. as this defense working very well so far for them. Isabel maybe going over for a trap in the corner, but nobody there to help. As South Warren drives, rebounded by Cassidy McDaniel, fires up to Aaliyah. Aaliyah steps up for the three. No good there by the senior. And ball knocked off South Warren by Skylar Tucker, an excellent athlete. And it's going to give Brett County possession under the South Warren basket here. Isabel Grimes to inbound. And it looks like they may be running 4 low here.
Cassidy right in the corner, wide open for the corner three. No good, too
no
strong.
Good.
But it's going
Isabel
to be picked
Grimes
up by
gets
Isabel.
the offensive rebound. Looks to Aaliyah. She's got it. Kicks back to Isabel in the corner. Isabel drives a little bit. Kicks to Cassidy.
Try it again from the wing this time. No good.
No good. Just barely off the mark there for Cassidy. And foul called on Aaliyah Muckray. This is going to be a reach, unfortunately. It's going to be her first of the game. Team's third. So unfortunately, Lily Critchlow picking up a couple fouls early. So that is going to take her out of the game. And I believe Aaliyah just went out with her first, and Kaylee Huffine's now going to come in. We saw a lot of action from her in that JV game, scored several points. As Brett County packs it into the 2-3 here.
Deep
three from South Warren,
good.
well off the mark. And offensive rebound, that could have been a travel. And passes to Deaton. She drives, and foul, I believe, going to be called on Skylar Tucker.
Kind of an unnecessary foul there right now.
Yeah, not exactly the best set of circumstances to foul in, but trying to play nice aggressive defense, you know, it happens sometimes. So it seems Frank going to be coming in now. I believe she started and just came back in a moment ago. So they're going to be inbounding underneath Brett County's basket. Kicks into Deaton. She goes for the three. And it's well off the mark there. So South Warren with some definite shooting struggles, and I believe an offensive foul going to be called there. That is going to be on 10. So that's going to be Hodges there with her first foul of the game. So Isabel Grimes here to inbound, and Brett County really hasn't had a lot of struggles breaking this press yet. I don't feel like South Warren's done a great job, you know, really getting a lot of traps. I think they're just trying to keep the ball out of the middle, which I think has, you know, prevented some easy shots from Breck, but I don't know if it's actually forced a lot of turnovers. As Isabel Grimes has it here at the top of the key. She looks over to the wing, Sydney. Screen from Skylar. Kicks to Kaylee. Kicks over to Isabel on the wing. Screen from Huffines. She drives. And maybe fouled there, but finds Skylar, who kicks to Sydney. Kicks over to Cassidy on the wing. She fakes. Kicks over to Isabel. Isabel drives. Kicks to Cassidy. Believe she goes for three.
That was
shot.
a two.
Two there.
On the line. 8-6
On the
now.
line. So Cassidy now with 5 on the game as well. As the press coming
right
here.
to Skylar Tucker. She's going to drive through with the left hand. No good. Too
Can't
strong.
quite finish. Sydney
Tucker's
Tucker battling
going to pick
for
it up. And she's going to get the finish and one. Going to the line for Sydney Tucker.
Sydney Tucker with an opportunity here for a 3-point play. This would put the Tigers ahead a hefty margin early. And South Warren definitely having some shooting struggles out of the gate. And having difficulty, I think, getting it over half court as Skylar Tucker easily picked off that pass. I think the 2-2-1 doing great wonders right now, especially with the trap coming in. Sydney Tucker's free throw is up and good. We saw her, I believe, make a couple really clutch free throws there in overtime to secure that win over Apollo yesterday. As South Warren here resets to try and break this press and just throws the ball right to Cassidy.
Daniel.
Cassidy steps over, kicks to
Sydney
Sydney.
goes for the three. And
Little bit
no
off the
good.
mark.
Rebounded by Kaylee
Huffines.
Huffines over the back call.
Unfortunately, over the back on Kaylee Huffines there. She just seems to be a little bit too tall for them to excuse that foul. I thought that was a pretty legitimate play, but it happens. So good minutes from Huffines there with a couple good screens and good passes. So she may stay in here. But overall, I think we've seen a great performance from the Lady Tigers, especially defensively. They've really shut down South Warren. They haven't been able to get a ton of shots up, and the ones they have been well off the mark. So
Brecken County up by 7 with just over a minute to go in the first quarter. Quite a good start for Brecken County. After that timeout that they had early on, the 32nd one, they were able to kind of come back, refresh a little bit, and finally start to get some shots down.
yeah, and I think Coach Mormon here getting a little bit animated, you know, really telling them, you know, be up in South Warren's face. They're scared. They're scared to move the ball right now. They're putting themselves in uncomfortable positions. What they really need to do, I think, is look for longer passes because Brett County leaves people open. That's one of the things they do in the 2-2-1, and you can't just continually pass back and forth between people. That's exactly where they want you to take it, and that's where they're going to trap you and get steals. So South Warren here trying to recover from the press. And Tucker twins here with a nice trap in the corner. And
wow,
yep,
the press is working beautifully for the Breckinridge County Tigers. Over to Isabel Grimes on the wing and skip over to Cassidy. Finds Isabel again.
she drives, kicks over to Skylar,
Cassidy
kicks to
wide
Cassidy.
open on the wing. No good this time for the three. Almost stepped out of bounds there is number 10 Hodges. She's going to pick it up the court.
Has trap coming here from
Finally
Isabel and
gets it
Sydney.
through. Haven't seen, and that's going to be a walk as South Warren was finally back onto their side of the court, and I don't know how long, just an unnecessary turnover.
So Aaliyah now coming in for Cassidy McDaniel. Cassidy getting some really good minutes here early. She's had, a little bit of shooting struggle, but she's still taking them, so I'm sure she'll start to knock them down later in the game. Isabel here to break the press once again. Kicks to Sydney, who kicks back to Isabel. Kicks over to Skylar. Kicks back to Isabel, and South Warren now out of the press. Isabel kicks to Aaliyah in the middle. And Huffines there, goes in for the screen. Aaliyah drives.
For Skylar there.
Kicks to Isabel. Kicks over to Sydney. Thinks about the three. Fakes.
And,
Tries to get to
right
Isabel.
into the hands. Aaliyah for the three. It's
Nice
good.
shot there from Aaliyah. Her first points in the game. That's going to put her at 3. So very well done there by Aaliyah, the senior, who had a
16 seconds
fantastic
left.
performance yesterday.
Now 10 seconds left.
As
of this
trap
first
coming here from the
quarter.
Tucker twins once again, and South Warren is flustered right now. Sydney's got it. 7 seconds to go here. She's driving in transition. Excellent,
Nice move.
excellent jump stop there. Sydney Tucker now with 5 on the game. As time expires in the first quarter, Breckinridge County leads 18-16 over South Warren. The Lady Tigers playing with a lot of confidence and energy right now.
Yeah. So we're seeing a lot from pretty much everybody. Good passing right now. Started off a little bit struggling. Had a couple turnovers there at the beginning, but I haven't seen much now. South Warren not even able to get any shots off past basically 4 minutes, as Breckinridge County press has just been completely on top of them the entire time, and it's haven't been able to get it across half court very much at all.
Yeah, and we talked about that in the pregame. That was one of the big things. Again, ball handling, passing, all those things just crucial to break a press, and they just have struggled mightily with that. I think they've really been handling the ball too much in the backcourt, and what they need to do is really just look for a quick pass, try and move it, and that was something Apollo did well. They looked to the middle. The problem, I think, with the way South Warren's trying to break this press is they've dropped 3 people back, and the way Breck County's done that against South Warren's press has worked very well because of the way South Warren's press is set up with the 1-3-1. Breck County has somebody in the middle, but the way they've been able to swing it around since I keep calling them Apollo. I am still stuck on yesterday's game. It is insane. Anyways, South Warren has allowed for them to swing the ball well around the backcourt, and they haven't stepped up to try and trap. So Breck County's been able to easily get it over half court, and then South Warren keeps falling back into that same 2-3. And Breck County's been able to get up a lot of shots here, as Cassidy, Isabel, Sydney all have 5, and Aaliyah has 3 here. So hopefully see a repeat of some of that action here in the second quarter. So presumably same press action here from South Warren. And
ISO on Isabel right now.
looks like they have switched into a man-to-man defense here. Particularly trying to cover the 3 ball. I'd assume Aaliyah has it. She steps back for a 3.
Left
Nice
wide
shot
open.
there.
That's Aaliyah's 6 points of the game.
Aaliyah now sitting with 6. As
And
trap from the
trap
Tucker
comes.
twins. Oh my goodness, that is just, I cannot imagine being in that situation. That has to be just terrifying. Oh my
Well,
goodness.
Lincoln, you are like 6'5". So
Well, that would give me a bit of an advantage, but like the trap there with the hands up, they're getting a lot of movement, and they move quickly. It's a swarm mentality for sure, as I believe foul called on Isabel Grimes there. So South Warren now in the bonus. I didn't realize how many fouls we had, but or they'll be in the bonus on the next foul. But Breck County now with 6 fouls. Isabel there with a block, as South Warren gets it into the corner here, and trap comes from the Tuckers. And Sydney jumps up. Isabel guarding now, and a travel. That was, I would say, very unforced. There was no one guarding there. And I believe Hodges there maybe with the turnover. That was not good at all. Isabel has it and kicks over to Sydney, kicks to Aaliyah in the middle. She goes up. No good there. And Huffines battling for the rebound, but ball falls to South Warren. As they are swinging it around here. They break the press fairly easily this time.
Hodges going for it herself, and she's fouled. Haley Huffines a little upset, same as Chad Mormon. Everybody not agreeing with that call.
Yeah, definitely a questionable one there. I think she had both hands up fairly well, but foul called there, and I think that's one of the disadvantages of being very tall. You kind of experience that a lot in freshman and JV basketball. Is if you block people, they're kind of just like, yeah, that's a foul. You don't get that call, sorry.
And
but
South Warren still hasn't scored since about midway through the first quarter.
So I believe that's Huffines' first, is it not?
That's her second. She had an over-the-back call earlier.
Correct. So that would mean both of Brett County's main big players, Lily Critchlow and Kaylee Huffines, both with 2 fouls here early in the second quarter. So we could see that.
And there's the first points for South Warren in roughly 5 minutes.
Quite some time. Now they're sitting at 7. Brett County at 21. Skylar Tucker drives and loses it, but picks it back up. Kicks over to Aaliyah in the corner. Aaliyah drives and can't quite get up there.
Clean block there by South Warren. Trying to make Mormon, trying to tell them not to foul. Getting a little too aggressive. Number 11 there, in with the air ball.
And ball out there. It's like,
yep, I believe it was out on number 15, I believe.
yes, so ball is going to be to Brett County. There is ball out on in-low. And Isabel has it. Kicks over to Sydney, and they've fallen back into some form of a press, but it doesn't look like man, but the structure isn't exactly easy to figure out here, as I believe Skylar Tucker there passes that a little bit over Huffines' head. Cassidy McDaniel comes back in, the senior here, already with 5 on the game. So here to see this 2-1 again, and a screen here early on, and I'm not exactly sure what the function of that was, because everybody's open on the inbounds pass. That's not the issue.
I just picked up the ball there. Taking a little bit of time to get over, and they do get through. Nice little bit passing.
Oh, my goodness.
What a block there by Skylar
absolutely
Tucker.
rejected by Skylar Tucker. That, oh my goodness. That's demoralizing. If you, I mean, just thought she had a wide open layup and just hesitated for half a second, and it was enough for Skylar Tucker to come in and just swat that ball. But South Warren now to inbound underneath Breckinridge County basket.
And taking time.
And nearly about a 5 seconds
Gets
there.
it in, and a nice look, but didn't go for him.
Aaliyah gets the rebound. Going in transition.
Jump
she
shot.
Steps up, jump shot,
and no good.
Oh, good try there from Aaliyah. As she's had 3 shots here recently that I thought looked really good.
Almost for the reach in, but it's back over to Aaliyah.
She steps back, kicks over to Cassidy.
Now finds Skylar. Over
Kicks
to
to
Sydney.
Kicks to Aaliyah. She goes for 3. It's good. And that is Aaliyah's 1,000th point. Aaliyah now has, I believe,
so excited now.
1,009 or 1,002 points because she has 9 on the game. Let's see, yeah. So Aaliyah now making a little bit of history here, making some memories. She has 9 now on the game, I believe, with 3 threes. And that's phenomenal, especially after her performance yesterday. So, so much excitement here, so much hard work. What a great career of basketball, really, for the senior. Playing a great game, and now this timeout. That was a very fun one to call there. Man, those last 3 possessions, I thought Leah was going to knock it down, and then that 3 she finally made. So that was very exciting. You really love to see it, especially, you know, after seeing all of her energy yesterday in both those interviews we had. So, yeah, Brett County with a pretty sizable lead here, up 17 here early in the second quarter. That was fantastic to watch, really emotional. So South Warren, you know, gotta be feeling a little bit downtrodden right now. But trap coming here as Aaliyah guarding, and they get a nice finish there from Hodges.
Isabel Grimes now.
Isabel kicks over to Skylar, and she kicks to Isabel, kicks over to Cassidy in the corner. She fires back to Isabel, fires back to Aaliyah. Aaliyah's got it at the top of the key, kicks over to Isabel, and kicks to Skylar. Kicks back to Isabel at the top of the key, so slowing things down here. Gets the ball to Cassidy, gets the ball back to Isabel, kicks back to Cassidy once again, wide open 3 in the corner, and it's good. That's her area right there, and Cassidy, I believe, now with 8 on the game. So great performances so far we're seeing from the Lady Tigers. Could not ask for much better, and Trap tries to come there, but a little bit late. And it's not sure who went up there for South Warren.
I believe
but
it was a push on Cassie McDaniel.
So believe that it's going to be Inlow at the line here to try and put this back to a 16-point game, as Breckinridge County definitely is seeming to run away with this one a little bit. And first free throw was just long there. So definitely a big congratulations in order for Aaliyah Mucker getting her 1,000th points of her high school career. That is just phenomenal, and super excited for her and all the hard work she's put in. You saw her emotions yesterday and excitement today. I mean, it's just she brings so much energy to the game and just a really integral part of the Lady Tigers basketball program. So
Cassidy again for the three. It's good.
Oh, my goodness.
Back-to-back threes for Cassie McDaniel, and that's going to be its full timeout for Apollo, as he is very upset with the defense right now.
Yes, and Cassidy now with 11 on the game.
I believe he's bringing in some of the JV players.
Yeah,
actually.
he is. I believe getting some of the varsity out of there. They are demoralized, to put it lightly. It is.
You like that word, demoralized, don't you?
Yes, it is going poorly for them. They are struggling. They are down 21. They have. Let's see. What were their last points? They hit a free throw, right? And then
I honestly I don't remember what
they've
was
had
before
what?
that.
Let's see,
I
18
believe it
to
was
6.
the first quarter.
Yeah, they've had 3 points in this quarter because the end of the first they had 18 to 6. So yeah, Breck County definitely running away with this one, and the energy is 100% there for the Lady Tigers right now. The momentum for South Warren is just killed. There's not much they can do right now that I think would put them back into this game. But the Lady Tigers here still in that press, still 2-2-1. And I believe starters back in. So we're going to see how this goes as the trap comes immediately from Cassidy and Sydney, but they kick back into the backcourt, and they have broken the press. Goes towards the middle. Sydney comes away with
Sydney
it.
Tucker.
As may have had Isabel in transition there. Didn't quite look up, though. That is all right. Kicks to Aaliyah, who is going to hand off to Cassidy. Cassidy drives, kicks over to Isabel in the corner. Pass a little bit too slow, though.
Skip over to Aaliyah. It's a bad pass, but Owen just barely got in. No carry. Isabel didn't have possession of it.
Isabel now has it to reset the offense. Just around 4 minutes here to go in this second quarter of basketball. Breckinridge County with a comfortable 21-point lead. Isabel kicks over to Sydney.
And into Lily Critchlow. Nice passing and a nice bucket for Lily Critchlow, her first on the night.
Excellent finish there on the assist from, I believe, Tucker, as 2 people, I believe, got a hand on the break
nice.
there. Man.
Rejection there by Isabel Grimes to split the passing.
I would say a solid 25 to 30% of all the passes that South Warren's thrown, a hand has been, gotten on them by the Lady Tigers. Oh, that is a defensive lapse. Pretty much wide open in the paint there on the inbound. But again, the Lady Tigers getting into passing lanes really causing a lot of trouble as Isabel Grimes has it, kicks over to Aaliyah. And she holds it for a second, kicks to Sydney in the middle. She goes up, and no good. Nearly gets the offensive board, but it falls to South Warren, so still 21-point game here. Isabel dives on the floor.
It's going to be a jump ball called, and it's pointing to South Warren.
So South Warren again going to have to try and break this press. They are having some struggles, that is for sure.
Kaylee Huffines coming in for Lily Critchlow now, as number 14 and number 40 are going to be coming out, and Sydney Tucker's also coming out.
So Skylar in, as well as Huffines here.
And a travel.
I was not even paying attention because she wasn't being guarded. That was weird.
Ref seemed very positive about that call as the score is 32-11.
That must have just been I guess.
Isabel Grimes inbounds it to Aaliyah Mucker. And she's getting blocked. And it's going to be out Kaylee Huffines. Oh, no, it's not out Kaylee Huffines.
All right. That'll work. A little bit of anger here from the South Warren side. But Isabel inbounds to Aaliyah.
Nice move.
Spin move there. Drives around.
And
one for Aaliyah. Aaliyah now with an opportunity to get to 12 on the game. She's got 11. So Inlow there with the foul as Aaliyah to this free throw to put the Lady Tigers up 24 for Free throws up, and it's good. Nice shot from Aaliyah there.
Natalie Henning's going to be coming in for Isabel Grimes.
So things definitely looking very, very good for the Lady Tigers right now. They are, I think, well away with this game. South Warren having some struggles for sure, as they do break that press pretty easily. They drive, and I believe blocked by Huffines there. Very good defense at the very least to stop that perhaps easy layup attempt as Sydney Tucker comes back in for Aaliyah. So Aaliyah so far with a great performance in this game. She already has 12 points out of the 35 that we do have as a team. South Warren inbounds. They swing it around
Hodges
a bit.
with the runner there as
Yeah.
it's picked up by 21. Now Cassie McDaniel gets the rebound. Going to slow it down a bit. She's picking it up court.
So Cassidy here running point. Not something we typically see. She feeds over to Skylar.
Skylar's going to find Natalie Henning.
Natalie dribbles around, kicks to Cassidy. Top of the key here. She drives, kicks back to Natalie. Kicks over to Skylar here. And she kicks over to Sydney. Sydney kicks to Natalie once again. Kicks over to Cassidy. Running a nice slow offense here.
Oh, and
Has
picked up there.
ball
Looking
stripped
for somebody
there
to find.
by Deaton. As believe that's going to be a foul on the floor, but bonus here for South Warren. I believe that is going to be the senior Deaton to shoot. So things definitely looking good for the Lady Tigers here. Isabel Grimes comes back in as well as Aaliyah. So Huffines and Henning both come out now. So just over 2 minutes to go here in this second quarter of basketball. As this first half has certainly favored the Lady Tigers. Even with the foul trouble they've had, they have held a pretty steady lead, to say the least. South Warren sitting here only at 12 points, possible to get 13 on this shot here from Deaton. Free throws up, and it's no good. Rebounded by Sydney Tucker. She kicks over to Isabel, and it seems like they are going to slow it down here. Need to make sure to get it over half court, and she does. Kicks to Aaliyah, and Aaliyah kicks over to Cassidy. Three at the top of the key. It's good.
I believe that's Cassidy's third three of the night.
Yeah, Cassidy now at 14 on the game. Actually, I think that may be her fourth three of the game.
It might be, actually, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think she has 4 threes and a 2.
Yeah, early in the beginning, and that's going to be another unforced error.
So just terrible
by
pass
South
there from
Warren.
South Warren. Is now a 26-point lead for the Lady Tigers here. And, man, we have seen so much perimeter action from these seniors in these last few games. Aaliyah and Cassidy both doing just a great job of shooting confidently. And we heard all about that in the pre- and post-game interviews from them in the game against Apollo, if you guys want to listen to that.
Sydney and Aaliyah, and that's going to be a double dribble on Aaliyah. A little bit of a collision there between Sydney and Aaliyah. She had to pick up her dribble.
Yeah, I don't know if the ball was maybe knocked away by South Warren, but it was,
I
certainly unforced.
believe it was a double dribble.
Yeah, okay. So certainly unforced, but unfortunate miscommunication there as South Warren inbound here and see if they can, maybe get something going.
It's just a minute and a half to go in the first half as they get a little nice runner on the baseline to bring them up 38-14. So Isabel Grimes now bring the ball up the floor.
Isabel has it.
Stacking the left side.
And screen for from Sydney Tucker for Skylar Tucker.
Skip over to Cassidy inside.
Drives in the paint.
And
oh, I can't believe it didn't fall. But nice try there from Cassidy McDaniel. Well executed offense, I think, from the Lady Tigers. It got him a great look. Just didn't quite finish it.
Got past the defense for the three. No good.
See, I don't know that South Warren's hit a three.
I don't believe they have. Nice find to Sydney Tucker inside from Isabel Grimes.
Beautiful pass there. Sydney Tucker now with 7 on the game. I mean, things just looking great for the Lady Tigers. Already with 40 points here in the first half. Still with a pretty comfortable lead as South Warren is trying to get it over half court, and ball knocked away there by Sydney Tucker, I believe. And
it's going to be
foul
the other way.
Called on Deaton there. I was like, I don't know about that. I thought they called it on Skylar at first, and I was like, I don't exactly know where that came from. But yeah, that was I think.
I mean, this first half, the Lady Tigers have more points scored than the University of Kentucky Wildcats did the first half today.
Oh, yeah. So what was the score in that first half? Who did they play again?
It was Auburn. I believe it was, 25-21 first half.
Oh, my goodness. That's low scoring for a team that generally is known for having a lot of offense and a pretty powerful recruiting class here.
We say generally, but 2020, 2021, it's a little different.
As Isabel Grimes here just trying to not get a 5-second call, trying to get the last shot of the half here. And she holds it. Just over 10 seconds remain here as looks over to Cassidy. 6 seconds remain. Cassidy goes for a little runner. It's no good. And I believe, 1.6 seconds remain here. So
I think she thought that there was a little less time than there was.
Yeah, it was an interesting shot. It was an idea. I will give her that. And inbound here for South Warren. And last shot of the half, and well short of the mark. I would say the Lady Tigers pretty much have this game locked away, but I've been wrong before. So definitely a very good first half showing for the Lady Tigers with 40 points. Aaliyah has, I believe, 12, Cassidy with 14, Isabel with 5, Sydney with 7, and Lily with 2. So I believe we are going to cut to a quick commercial break, and we will catch you guys right before the beginning of the second half.
welcome back, everybody. We are about 2 minutes to go until the start of the second half. Lady Tigers up 40-14. Quite a lead. So what's the numbers looking like right now, Lincoln?
So in terms of points scored by the team, the spread is fairly consistent with what we've seen for the rest of the season, maybe with Isabel having a bit fewer than we'd expect. But Aaliyah here with 12, of course, joining the 1,000-point club for the Lady Tigers, which is just fantastic to see. Great effort out of her. Cassidy with 14 on the game, I believe, 4 threes. Isabel with 5, Sydney with 7, and Lily with 2. We've also seen a bit of foul trouble from the Lady Tigers, with Coach Mormon even encouraging them, do not foul. We're pretty well ahead with it here, and no reason to put ourselves in a precarious position. So I believe Kaylee Huffines and Lily Critchlow both have 2 on the game. I don't know if anybody else is in any sort of foul trouble, but the team overall, I believe, had 9 in the first half in terms of fouls. So, maybe could come into effect in the second half, but overall what we really saw was that press, again, it did its job today. The Lady Tigers came out to play, and we're going to see what Cameron has to say here going into the second half.
Just the trivia
winner.
The trivia winner. So, didn't take very long.
No, it did not.
But the winner of the first trivia on Breck Live is going to be to Mr. Adam Cox. The correct answer was Lily Grimes. She played from 2010 to 2017, sister of now playing Isabel Grimes, and Lily had 2,597 total points in her high school basketball career. So, well done, Mr. Cox. I expected nothing less from probably the greatest spirit Breckenridge County ever had.
I mean, that is a very good point for sure. But in case you missed it, in the pregame, we did do trivia. So that will be a hopefully consistent part of the pregame show. We will try and get some fun Breck County trivia for you, for all you listeners at home. And we will give you a shout out at halftime if you are the first one to get the trivia question correct. And today, obviously, who was the leading scorer for Lady Tiger history? And it was Lily Grimes. So we begin the second half of basketball here. The Lady Tigers leading 40-14 over South Warren.
Quick steal for Aaliyah Mucker, going to go up. Didn't get fouled, though.
Can't quite finish that one, unfortunately. But we've seen a lot of action defensively from the Lady Tigers, forcing a lot of turnovers. And a little bit of a runner there for Gracie Hodges is no good. Rebounded by Cassidy McDaniel. She fires down the court to Isabel, gets it in the corner. She drives. And, yeah, that, I think, was a foul. Kind of riding her there as she was trying to drive into the paint. So first foul for South Warren here, beginning the second half.
Team's first of the second half.
So we have Isabel to inbound here on the baseline. And kicks it over quickly to Sydney. Kicks to Aaliyah at the top of the key. Hands off to Isabel. Looks for a shot. Steps back. Decides to kick it over to Aaliyah. Who kicks to Lily. She hands off to Sydney, who drives. Goes up, finishes nicely the 2 there, and 9 now for Sydney on the game, as the Lady Tigers have maintained a pretty consistent pace in terms of scoring throughout the entire game.
3
up here for Inlow, no good, and it's just going to go out on Aaliyah here, as the senior has seen a lot of action today. So inbound here for South Warren under the Breckenridge County defensive basket. And they look, and they may have had a wide open pass under the basket if they just would have waited a second longer, but, questionable call maybe? I'm not actually sure who the foul was on. Was it on Sydney?
No, it's
on South Warren, okay. So yes, that is on Deaton, the senior. So South Warren already with 2 fouls quickly out of the gate here. So Breckenridge County definitely with some opportunity to maybe make some free throws despite some struggles in the last few games. As Isabel Grimes goes up, can't quite finish that one. We talked to her in the pregame interview, and she comes with a steal there.
By Leah Mucker, jump shot in the corner, no good, in and out.
But we talked to Isabel during the pregame show. She was here with Lily Critchlow, and we heard a lot from them about the enthusiasm that they have, particularly coming from the seniors, and that sort of positivity that they're constantly reinforcing. Making sure that they're shooting confident shots and being sources of positive energy for one another, as Lily Critchlow called for the travel there, trying to dive into the paint. So South Warren making some substitutions here, and Brett County still remaining in that 2-2-1 press. Or I guess, yeah, so they're just trying to keep the ball out of Deaton's hands at this point. She has definitely been the biggest factor for South Warren. And so no, looks like Brett County may have switched it up here to man, which we did not see any of in the first half, but we did see a little bit against Apollo as ball falls to Isabel Grimes there for the rebound. She drives, goes
Nice
up.
move.
Oh, nice move. Splits two defenders there. Great finish from
Breckenridge
Isabel.
County's now up by 30.
Isabel with 7 on the game. And yes, as you said, Brett County now up 30. And foul called there, so Hodges, I believe, is going to go to the free throw line. Opportunity to put it back within 30. So definitely some struggles for South Warren in terms of their scoring, especially in the first half. They only had 6 in the first quarter, and I believe 8 in the second. So they have a lot of work to do if they are going to come back from this nearly insurmountable deficit. As free throw here, first one no good by Hodges, and the second one on the way. So Hodges here to take the second free throw opportunity to put it back to 29, the deficit, and free throws up, and it's good. We know South Warren's relatively consistent from the free throw line from what we've seen on their stats this season, but Brett County, I think, has kept them away from the free throw line pretty well. Isabel drives and quickly looks, fires over to Lily Critchlow. Free throw line jumper, no good. Rebounded by Cassidy McDaniel. She goes up. Excellent finish there from the senior. She now has 16 on the game. She's played very well this game, as Sydney Tucker, again, just making very valiant defensive efforts out there, trying to keep the ball out of everybody's hands. Cassidy guarding here, and ball over on the wing. South Warren having a little bit of trouble getting a shot. Contested.
Nice shot
Wow.
there by number 12 for South Warren. I believe that's the first 3 of the night.
Yeah, I don't
Little
think South
quick
Warren
pump
had a
fake
3
there,
until that,
too.
but Leah, I thought, played pretty good defense there. I can't believe they knocked down that shot.
Aaliyah,
Aaliyah now
the
with the
contested
contested
three.
3. Ooh, no
Can't
good.
answer.
Rebounded by South Warren. They're going to go quickly in transition, as Cassidy McDaniel, I believe, might have got a hand on that one, but it falls to South Warren once again, as they have it in the paint. Kicks over to the wing here, and looks for a skip pass here. Hodges has it. She fires the 3. It's good. The second 3 of the game there.
Finally starting to get shots to go down now.
It's now only a 25-point deficit, as Cassidy with a deep 2. It's good. Cassidy now with 18 on the game after that shot, and she has just shot phenomenally. I believe she has 4 threes on the game, so that is just insane stats. I believe shooting around
A little
40%.
bit of popcorn going around now.
And ball batted around a little bit there as Cassidy ends up with it here. She fires another deep 2. No good there. Rebounded by South Warren. They're moving quickly in transitions. We've had a couple pretty fast possessions in a row. A little bit different from what we saw against Apollo yesterday, as ball attempted to be saved there.
I would just like to say, this is completely random,
Yep.
but Khabib might be coming back to UFC. You probably haven't watched any UFC, but I thought I'd just throw that out there.
That sounds pretty
According
exciting.
to Dana White,
All
he'll
right.
be coming back as long as UFC 257 is interesting. So, I just might pay to watch it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't watch a lot of that, but that does certainly sound exciting. So I guess if you're going to pay to watch it, may as well get the whole squad laughing, and Isabel Grimes drives in there for another easy finish. She now has 9 on the game, and South Warren again just struggling mightily to stop the Lady Tigers at this point, as Deaton drives in, finishes there nicely.
Something's kind of stirred South Warren a little bit this quarter.
Yeah, they've cut it back to only a 27-point lead. It was 30 for a second. But yes, Aaliyah has it on the offensive end. She goes up, fouled pretty hard there by Deaton. I believe that's going to be her 3rd, as Aaliyah now with an opportunity to get to 14 on the game. Now we did see, and still remain to have seen, some free throw struggles from the Lady Tigers, especially in their first 3 games and even in the fourth quarter, in the first 3 and a little bit of the fourth quarter against Apollo. Honestly, not great free throw shooting, a little over 50%, but in the overtime against Apollo, they went 7 for 8 from the free throw stripe to win that game, so important shots there, as I believe Aaliyah knocks down both of those. It's going to put her at 19 on the game, I think. As South Warren again going to try and break this press. And trap coming here from Sydney Tucker and Aaliyah. And Deaton has it, goes up. Nice defense from Kaylee Huffines there to stop that ball. Can't quite corral the rebound, though. Offensive board here. Another block from Kaylee Huffines.
I believe she got a little contact there.
Yeah, I think that might have been a foul, but ball in the corner here for South Warren, and they missed that one. Rebounded by Sydney. She kicks up to Isabel. She drives, goes up, and can't quite finish that one. But we're seeing some excitement here from both sides, despite the big deficit, as Deaton drives.
And stolen by Sydney Tucker.
And she is going to go here in transition. Kicks over to Isabel in the corner. Tries to find Schuyler in the middle, but just batted out of bounds by South Warren there. So it's going to be baseline inbound here under the South Warren defensive basket. So Isabel Grimes, as per usual, to inbound here on the baseline. A good opportunity for Breck County to get some more points here to go ahead. And screen from Kaylee Huffines for Sydney Tucker. Eventually she finds Aaliyah, steps back, 3 for Aaliyah Mucker. I think with 22 on the game now for the senior. We've seen phenomenal performances out of her these last 2 games, so maybe that will keep up here. As ball just knocked out there by, I believe, Sydney Tucker. And South Warren's going to inbound on the sideline here, so now a 32-point lead for the Tigers.
And for Breckenridge County, number 12, Cassidy McDaniel.
Let's see here. Got inbounds. South Warren's got it here at the top of the key. It's over to the wing. And not really much action here. Screen, though, comes in.
Deep
And
three,
deep three.
no good.
Little bit off the mark.
Rebounded, I believe that's out. Kaylee Huffines, and it is.
It's going to be baseline inbound here for South Warren. Opportunity to get it back within 30 again. As they have definitely seen some struggle with scoring. And inbound here, they can't find anybody, maybe a 5-second, but they get it into Inlow.
Nice swat there by Kaylee Huffines, and it's right back out off the leg.
And we've seen Kaylee Huffines, despite only being in, I believe, 8th grade, just playing phenomenally on the defensive end, particularly getting a lot of blocks. And I know we saw that she had 2 fouls earlier, but I don't think she's picked up another one since then. So Hodges has it here. She drives, foul on the floor. I believe that's going to be on Sydney Tucker.
Yes, it is.
County number 14, Sydney Tucker.
So we see a lot of aggression out of the Tucker twins. Quite a mixed sort of style on the soccer pitch. So definitely playing with a lot of athleticism as Kaylee Huffines gets a hand on that ball, just knocks it out. And really getting involved on the defensive end here in an attempt to stop South Warren from scoring, and they've definitely struggled here. So ball, I believe, knocked out by South Warren there on the inbound. So it's going to be Breckenridge, but gives it an attempt. And South Warren now coming down the stretch. Them as 3 here for South Warren, no good. Rebounded by Aaliyah. And she's going to look for a pass. She pulls up, goes for 3. It's good. Oh my goodness.
Breckenridge County closing in on 40-point lead.
Looks to the middle as a 5-second call underway, and Sydney dives on it. And it seems like the motion there for the offense, not exactly there for the Lady Tigers, as running the clock now. Just about 10 seconds left here. The inbound from the baseline is Lauren Lucas. And she takes it. Can't quite find anybody. Kicks to Schuyler. 1 second left, and doesn't get the shot up in time, but no good there. So Breckenridge County now, the Lady Tigers having a 61 to 25-point lead against South Warren. And the Spartans have struggled. Lady Spartans have struggled defensively, offensively, giving up a lot of open shots, missing a lot of open shots. They've turned the ball over several times. I would like to see the stats on turnovers, especially after this game. And again, that's just a big byproduct of, I think, the Lady Tigers 2-2-1 press. And even in the half court, I think the Lady Tigers have done a really good job getting into passing lanes, and South Warren just hasn't had many good looks. They've struggled with turnovers, and they've put themselves in positions where maybe they could score a little bit, but the morale certainly lacking for the Lady Spartans here, especially in that third quarter. It seems their energy has died a good bit. And Lady Tigers now nothing left to do but finish this one off. As Cam, you got any more fun news over there to start off this fourth quarter?
Well, besides the Khabib news,
Yeah.
I didn't really get to finish. He's going to come back and get whooped by Conor McGregor.
Oh, yeah.
But that's all I have to say on the matter. All right, 61-25. Breckenridge County up.
Are you a supporter of Conor McGregor?
I didn't used to be, but in my old age,
In your old age.
I don't know. I start to like it. I start to like the cockiness. I don't know.
At the ripe age of 18, Cameron has now become a big fan of the ego. So, so South Warren here with an opportunity to, mount some sort of comeback as, makes a good shot right out of the gate there. It's about 10 seconds in as Lady Tigers now with the starters back in, I believe, as Isabel drives, kicks to Lily, who loses it, but picks it back up.
Ball movement to...
Isabel gets it back. Offensive rebound for Lily. She goes up, airballed there. Aaliyah gets a hand on it, but South Warren has it. They come away with it. They're moving in transition. Sydney following. And Isabel jumps out there to guard quickly at the perimeter. Lily Critchlow there with some nice post defense.
Good
nice
job
work
there
there.
by Lily Critchlow, not allowing any shot to go up.
And
so
Sydney Tucker gets a hand in there, so I believe it's going to be a steal for Aaliyah Mucker. And she has it here, handling at the top, kicks it to Cassidy. And Cassidy now dribbling around a little bit. Just trying to get comfortable. And kicks it over to Sydney. Looks like she's going to drive. And Aaliyah jumps out to the perimeter, shoots a quick three. No good. Lily Critchlow almost gets in there for that offensive rebound, but rebounded by South Warren, and they're going to come the other way with it. And Deaton goes up. No good. Rebounded by Lily Critchlow. Kicks to Cassidy. And might have had Sydney Tucker there. Not quite far ahead enough, but Isabel has it. She's going to drive. And she goes up for a nice two there. Great finish from Isabel Grimes, the junior. She now has 11 on the game, I believe. As Deaton now in territory to be shooting this three. Aaliyah comes away with it. And it looks like they're going to slow it down, and Deaton tries to steal that. Just knocks it out. So
some of the reserves going to be coming in for South Warren.
So South Warren now bringing in the second platoon here as they are running the clock. So we're going to see how that turns out, impacting the scoring here, particularly in this fourth quarter. So maybe we'll see a few less points scored by the Lady Tigers here, but maybe they'll keep up this momentum as Sydney has it, tries to kick to Lily in the middle, but just a little bit over her head, so it's going to go out on the baseline. So Skylar comes in now for the senior Mucker as South Warren going to inbound, and Brett County's dropped back here. Looks like into a nice 2-3, one of their signature defenses. Sydney jumps out, Skylar jumps into the corner, and three on the way for South Warren, well off the mark, rebounded by Isabel Grimes. She's in transition and takes it up on her own. Nice finish there. It's Isabel now with 13 on the game. And Lady Tigers now jumping into that 40-point lead range, and that shot well off the mark there for South Warren. Offensive rebound, though. And on the wing, into the right corner. Back to the right wing. Over to the left wing. Back to the top of the key. Three on the way. It's good. So Hodges there with a three as the lead now cut to 35. And clock still running here. Isabel Grimes has it. And Brett County certainly in the driver's seat here. As Isabel Grimes kicks over to Lauren. She kicks to Lily Critchlow. Kicks over to Isabel again. As she drives. Kicks back to Skylar. Kicks over to Lauren. She drives. Goes up for two. No good. Well off the mark there. Rebounded by South Warren. They're going to go in transition. And this one's right around wrapped up, I would say, but still going to see out the end of this result. And South Warren with another three. That one well off the mark. Rebounded by Skylar Tucker. She kicks up to her twin. She drives and stops around the perimeter. And kicks over to Skylar again for the three. No good, off the mark, but offensive rebound by Isabel Grimes. She goes up in the paint. Nice finish for her. Now with 15 on the game. She finishes a few on those last few possessions there, and things definitely looking good for the Lady Tigers.
And I believe that's a...
It's like a pretty well full lineup substitution in here as the lineup now sees Skylar Tucker, Natalie Henning, Lily Critchlow, Kaylee Huffines, and Lauren Lucas in.
Ooh,
And
wide open three there for South Warren.
3 for South Warren as Skylar going to be running the point here. So we're going to see how this plays out. Handles the ball fairly well here. Seems to not have much confidence with that left hand as far as ball handling is concerned, and Lily has it. Hands off to Natalie, kicks over to Lauren in the corner, who can't quite handle it. May have been able to get a shot there if she caught it quickly enough, but Skylar has it. Kicks to Kaylee Huffines in the middle. She goes up. Excellent finish there from Kaylee. So she now has 2 on the game.
Breckinridge County up 69-33.
As ball goes to the perimeter here for South Warren. They take a deep 2. No good. Rebounded by Lauren, who kicks up to Skylar. She slows it down as they are now trying to set up an offense here. 36-point lead as Natalie has it, kicks over to Lauren. Lauren goes for 3. It's good from Lauren Lucas there. It's going to put it at a, 39-point lead here for the Lady Tigers as South Warren now putting some more subs in. So Lady Tigers here are still in this 2-3 zone with the reserves in, as South Warren, I think have, pretty well given up. That might have been a travel there, but, pivots, and Lauren Lucas comes away with the rebound, kicks to Natalie, and she slows it down. Kicks back to Skylar here at the top of the key. Kicks over to Lauren. Looks for another 3. Doesn't go up with it, though. Finds Lily Critchlow in the middle. She goes up. Maybe fouled there, but well short on the shot from the paint.
Not really any purpose calling any fouls right now.
Yeah, they've pretty well, I think, given up on on calling much. Not much reason to, as South Warren has possession here. Nice little 2 there, about free throw line jumper distance, as it seemed as though South Warren were tempted to take the ball out for a second. That was an interesting tactic, as Natalie Henning now has it, kicks over to Skylar, and looks like she's going to drive, kicks back over to Natalie. She drives, kicks to Lauren on the perimeter. She finds Kaylee, throws that one a little bit too far into the back court, but it is caught. To Skylar, she drives. Finds Lily Critchlow into the basket. Can't quite finish that one. Blocked, I believe, by South Warren. Pretty nice defensive play there from them to stop that finish. As Lily's going to inbound it here. Subs coming in now. So I believe that's Ford coming into the game now, if I'm not mistaken. No, that is Hoy, sorry. As
nice inbound to Kaylee Huffines, just a little too strong there.
Pretty well executed offensive play, just couldn't quite convert the points there. Just over a minute to go now in the game. South Warren here to try and, maybe spare some dignity for themselves here, and maybe get another shot here to finish the game with. Kicks over to the left wing. No shot. Trap coming from Skylar and Lauren. And 3 on the way from South Warren. It's no good. Ball kind of batted around, and it's knocked out by South Warren. So it's going to be a baseline inbound here. Going to take it the length of the court. Probably just going to dribble it out here if you're Breckinridge County. But I believe this is the last action we're going to have for this week, given it is a Saturday, of course. And our next action that we will be commentating on Breck Live is ball kind of just held here by Breckinridge County. The next action we are going to have on Breck Live will be Meade County next Friday, and it's going to be a doubleheader of boys varsity and girls varsity. The girls game is first, so we will still be on for the pregame show. And I believe 3 was taken there after the buzzer. I think they're just not going to count it. I don't know. That was questionable sportsmanship there, but so that was a game. Lady Tigers came out very well on top, as I'm sure they expected to with the level of confidence that they had there. Big 37-point win, 72-35 over South Warren, as South Warren saw several struggles in that game, and one of them was the one that I had guessed. So I was right for once in my assumptions that ball handling would likely end up hurting South Warren, if anything would cost them that game. And eventually what happened was, the turnovers just really got to them. They didn't get enough shots up And the ones they did get up, they had not a great shooting percentage, but the Lady Tigers really started to pile it on there. So into the game stat report, I'm not 100% sure on these numbers. I feel like they're fairly accurate, but Aaliyah ended the game with 20. Congratulations to her. Huge shout out for reaching the 1,000-point margin. That is fantastic for her. Super proud of her for that. Cassidy McDaniel, the other senior, with 21 on the game. Believe she may have had 6 threes, 5 threes, I believe, for Cassidy McDaniel on that game. Isabel Grimes with 15, Sydney Tucker with 9, Lily Critchlow with 2, Kaylee Huffines with 2, and Lauren Lucas with a 3 coming off the bench there near the end. Personally, not the most exciting second half, but the beginning of the action, it was fun to watch, and the Lady Tigers worked pretty seamlessly, I think, even though they had some shooting struggles in the first quarter, which we saw similar effects against Apollo, particularly Apollo and Grayson County. Breckinridge County had some shooting struggles in those first quarters, but they recovered well. And again, we teach that lesson of perseverance. It's all about, even if you start off not doing well, it's all about making sure to come back with confidence. And Aaliyah reiterated that point yesterday during interviews. And it's just, keep shooting. The shots will start falling. You just have to be confident. And I think the Lady Tigers did that well today and did that well yesterday. But I think they did a great job. Very proud of them for the win today. That's about all I have to add. I don't know if we're getting a post-game interview or not.
We are not tonight.
All right.
Not tonight. So, great win. Summing it all up. Good win for the Lady Tigers to make it a 5-0 record so far on the season. The next game the Lady Tigers play will be Cloverport at Cloverport January 19th. So make sure to stay updated with that. We will be posting any scores on Twitter when we hear about them, same as the Breck County Athletics Twitter page.
Now do bear in mind, we have the game next Friday. It is a doubleheader varsity game. The girls play first against Meade. So that's going to be a huge one. Stadium is going to be packed, likely. So we may packed
based off COVID restrictions.
Packed with 6 feet of space. That's so key there.
We might be in a different setting.
Yeah, we may be in a bit of a different location commentating. Camera should still be in the same place, but yes, there will. As far as we know, there will be a pregame show. So another bit of Breck County trivia coming. If you guys want a shout out at halftime, again, shout out to Mr. Cox for winning today. Not altogether surprised given his school spirit that he knows that, but we will see what ends up happening then. So we appreciate your guys' support as always. Now, Cam, I'm going to let you wrap it up here because you're generally the one who's good at that. So
yeah, so just make sure to tune in next Friday against Meade County girls at 5:30. The boys will follow up. But as for Lincoln and I, we are signing off. Have a great night.